And I am Julia.
And this is Pop Culture Hives and Melissa podcast. We deep dive into the hive of pop culture. That means we explore our favorites, our least favorites, fandom spaces, recent happenings, and geek out about all things entertainment.
This is a podcast for people who love things as hard as we do.
Yep, and this week we will be doing a Pop Culture Playback, where we take a look back on the biggest pop culture moments of 2017.
But before we do that, why don't we hop into Culture Catch-Up? Olivia, what happened this week?
Yeah, so it's like a bunch of small stuff, and then there's going to be like a big thing, and then we can't talk about the biggest thing, because that'll be next week's episode. So, but I wanted to start with something that I feel like we will care a lot about.
Okay.
That is the new Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac movie. What?
That was the greatest news I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah. For those who do not know, Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac are set to star in an 80s vampire thriller called Flesh of the Gods. So that's insane to me. I'm already sold. But this is what the synopsis is. It's about a married couple, Raul, who is Oscar Isaac, and then Alex, who is Kristen Stewart, who descend each evening from their luxury skyscraper condo and head into the electric nighttime realm of 80s LA. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
And this is like American Horror Story Hotel, which was a vampire season, and it was in LA. And as soon as I read that synopsis, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about Lady Gaga being a vampire luring people back. But yeah, second vampire thing for Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, and hopefully better. No offense to Twilight. I just rewatched it recently with my friends, and let's just say, interesting. But I'm so excited for this movie. I will be there.
Yeah,
first night.
I will also be there. I'm very excited about it. Honestly, all you had to say was Oscar Isaac to me, and I was like, great. I didn't even need to know the plot of the movie. I'm just like,
yeah, I heard Kristen Stewart, and I was like, I'm in.
We're in.
We're in. I'm excited to see her bloody again after Love Lies Bleeding.
Let's move on to Maze Runner reboot.
Oh God, I tweeted out about this.
So there's going to be a reboot of the Maze Runner franchise. Well, it's in development right now. So we'll see if it actually pans out or goes anywhere at all, because it could just be on the chopping block, which, okay, I'm okay with that. It's in development currently at 20th Century Studios. It says this reboot aims to continue the story while returning the elements that made the first film connect with its audience without being a redo or a direct sequel.
Okay, well, the only thing people connected to in the audience was Dylan O'Brien.
I was about to say.
Because, I read the book and I hated it. I thought it was awful. And then I watched the movies and I'm like, the only person that's really helping here is Dylan O'Brien's charisma and then Thomas Brodie Sanders, and that was it. Yeah.
So I read all of the books.
More power to you.
Well, I thought they were pretty decent at the time, but at the time I also had just finished reading Divergent, which I did not like at all. So I was just hoping for anything that was better, because I remember reading Divergent and being excited about the movies because I thought it would be better in a movie format rather than a book, and it wasn't. But I had just got off of reading Divergent, and then I was reading Maze Runner, which is better than Divergent books. So I did like them, but I was mainly excited about Dylan O'Brien because who wouldn't be?
Yeah, I don't think Dylan O'Brien wants to do it again after the third one almost killed him. So
I don't think they would ask him back,
I
honestly.
don't think I don't even think they need to ask. They already know their answer.
I don't know why they would ask him back. I mean, it says that they're not trying to redo or it being a direct sequel, so I'm confused. Is this
Yeah.
going to be a actual reboot where we're rebooting the story with different actors and a different script? Or is this going to be a sequel, but you guys said it wasn't going to be a direct sequel, but you wanted to continue the story?
Yeah, it's like really weird because at least for like, for example, like if we're thinking about if you're thinking about Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes as a reboot, the reason why it was essentially rebooted was because she wrote another book and there's already material there. I know there's other Maze Runner books, but I think they're more so prequels than like
I literally only read the main
that's
three.
again, as I said, good for like I couldn't get I think I might have gotten halfway through the second book and I was like, nah. Because I
Yeah,
was so done.
I was chugging along because of Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was
I
the same way with the movies. So it's just also, in addition, there's two things that I remember being kind of like my two main points of why I didn't like this was number one, the last movie came out 6 years ago.
We
So
did
like
talk about last episode how reboots are getting shorter amount of time before. Yeah.
yeah, and then also in addition, I saw a lot of people on Twitter talk about this because I follow a lot of book people, and a lot of people are like, there's so many like good books that would have great adaptations and also not center white men. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I just yeah, this says yeah, the reboot last film was 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah, we don't need anything else. If they are rebooting it and doing the same story with different actors, then we 100% don't need it. But if this is like a sequel or a prequel or anything like that, I'm like, we still don't need it. I don't know. Like, I just don't think that this is necessary.
I don't
I
even
guess.
think, yeah, I don't even remember what the plot was besides them being stuck and trying to escape into a maze. That's all
Yeah,
I got.
they like all wake up in the glade and it's
Yeah.
the maze, and then you all have jobs. And
Yeah.
they're all boys, but then a girl comes up, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, I just remember it being similar to the Divergent series of how it was an experiment or something. Sorry for spoiling a 10-year book series.
Yeah.
Whoops. But anyway,
In conclusion, Maze Runner reboot bad. All right.
decided.
Let's move on to a better reboot. Pretty Little Liars.
Oh,
Pretty Little Liars.
yeah.
Yeah, Summer School, which is the second season of Original Sin. That's coming out, oh gosh, this week. As of shooting this, May 9th is whenever.
Oh, epic.
Yeah, that's going to be
That's
soon.
good.
For those who don't know what Original Sin is, it's basically a Pretty Little Liars reboot. There's a new A, but it's different girls, different town. And they did a great job with the first season. I really enjoyed the first season.
I really enjoyed the first season.
Yeah, as an OG Pretty Little Liars fan, I really enjoyed it.
And as a non OG Pretty Little Liars fan, I enjoyed it. Have you seen the poster for this season?
Yes, it's like midsummer.
It's gorgeous.
Cool.
I was like, this is epic.
Yeah,
This is
it's really cool. There's like a teaser trailer or something out, and I watched
yes.
it, and I was like, yeah, this looks like more the first season, which I'm happy with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, is this new killer gonna be an A, or is it gonna be a split thing where this is a completely different thing, and then there's also an A, which I'm happy with either. I'm really excited about this because I did really enjoy the first season. It gave me really I'm interested to see how they're gonna do this because in the first season a lot of the reason that I liked it is because it was very like Halloween, fall sort of vibes. But now they're doing summer. So,
I think they're kind of doing the like summer camp
yeah,
slasher, which I like. I like that they're keeping with the horror elements of
yeah.
it. Because that's what made me interested in it. So yeah.
All right, let's move along to something that I think we're gonna have fun talking about for just a little bit. And the reason why is because we both actually watched a movie. Finally, we both finally watched a movie that came out this week, and that is the idea of being.
Why? I was looking at my letterbox and I was like, this would be really funny if Olivia mentioned this during the podcast. And then it happened.
Oh yeah, well I have to, you know.
Yeah.
Very, for those who do not know, I'm a very big Harry Styles fan. So, you know, I have thoughts. I have thoughts as somebody who's deeply rooted in the lore of this movie. But yeah, you watched it. What'd you think?
I think I was expecting it to be really bad, like after,
Yeah.
and I was expecting to have that experience.
Yeah.
But I think that made me dislike him more because of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So the idea of You is a movie that is based off of a Harry Styles fan fiction, like a in real life Harry Styles fan fiction. And it, you know, every time I hear about this, I'm always like, two thoughts come to my mind. One, oof, why are we doing this again? And two, it's like, wow, they're going to butcher Harry. They always butcher him. I'm happy to report they didn't completely butcher him this time, which is shocking to me. As somebody who loves Harry a lot and who was a big One Direction fan, went to a One Direction concert. And let me tell you, those concert clips in the movie, they studied. Because I feel like I'm back in 2014 at the Where We Are tour, and I'm watching my boys up on stage right now. Like a discount version of my boys. but I mean, like, Nicholas, you got him down. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I love him. So
yeah, my friend texted me because they were like, "Oh, I watched it," and I said, "What did you think of it?" And they went, "I'm sick of Nicholas Galizine's face," and I said, "Sadly, I think my 10 watches of Bottoms has made me immune to his face."
I am gonna be honest. I like him. I like him.
I like him too. I think
he's great.
I think he has really good comedic timing, and I think he seems like a genuinely nice person.
Yeah.
So I do want him to succeed.
We'll discuss the Met Gala outfit next week. But
oh no, I don't.
It was just
what if he just
entire afternoon was Met Gala. So I am prepared fully for my thoughts on it.
That would be really funny if he just came in the outfit from Bottoms.
That would be great. I've been seeing people on Twitter say it would be funny if he came in Harry Styles' Met Gala outfit.
No!
To promote the movie.
I will say, though, Anne Hathaway was really good with what she was given.
I thought they were both really good.
I thought they were both really good, but I think just because I haven't seen an Anne Hathaway movie in a while, I think I just forgot of how good of an actress she is. And, like, there's the scene where she's telling, like, what happened with her and her husband, and I was like, damn, this feels like actually, like, I'm talking to her and she's talking to me.
That scene was just good.
Yeah, they did a good job.
But there is controversy behind the actual fan fiction. Fan fiction is based off of Harry Styles' real life relationship with Caroline Fleck, who was in her 30s and he was 17.
Oh my god, I forgot that happened.
So
Cause
that's rough. So that
oh
was real icky. And I couldn't shake, as a longtime fan, since he was 17, literally. Uh, so I was like deep in the trenches when this was happening.
no, yeah, I
Like,
remember
I was
my
thinking
yeah.
about that the entire movie, and I'm just like, at least they aged him up, but at the same time, this is like rough, and like I feel like I know that Harry is not giving a second thought to these movies, but do you ever think he's just like weirded out by all of these fanfic movies about?
Yeah, I forget. I saw a TikTok where someone was like if I was I think it was because they were saying I don't know how Harry Styles doesn't have a therapist
He
because I
probably,
don't know. He probably does, but the person was like, I don't know how he could go this long with all these fan fiction movies of him.
I'm sure he's not thinking about it, but like at the same time, I'm just like, ugh.
I mean, doesn't he have a restraining order against the after movie, the after writer?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
sometimes I think of these. I've heard that obviously, but
Yeah.
I just don't know if anything is real. I don't know.
Yeah, but also to confirm, it is Gabriella Union's production company.
Yeah, I love Gabrielle.
I love her too.
Yeah,
She's so
so
cool.
let's move on because we have two things, and one of the things is big things. So we're gonna move on to the smallest thing because we can't really talk about it until next week. But Met Gala happened today, as of recording this. It
Woo.
happened today. The dress code is the Garden of Time, but the theme
Yeah.
is Sleeping Beauties.
Yeah, I think that's the Garden of Time depicts like a hold on. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the theme.
Um. Overall, from what I've seen already, um, the girls always turn out. The women
Yeah.
always turn out. Can't say the same for the men. Some of them did, but most of them just stand there in suits, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
dude,
No, I think
is
I think we'll talk about it more in depth next week, but I saw a tweet of someone being like, whenever I was hating on men in suits, this is not the man I'm talking about. And it was Mike Feist. I think he has like an onion or something, like an
he has
onion
a
pin or something.
radish
Oh,
on
it's
it.
a radish. I'm
I
sorry.
saw a tweet, uh, and I put it on my Instagram story, um, and it says it says Josh O'Connor and Mike Feist are giving Zendaya the spotlight. It's for feminism, guys. As an
This is the
as to why they're wearing boring outfits.
that seems like a them thing to do. I think so.
We'll talk about it next time. Anyway, tune in to next week's episode where we'll talk about the Met. But the thing that has literally I literally don't know if any other pop culture stuff happened this week besides the stuff I talked about, because this thing that I'm about to talk about literally just dominated every single thing this week. And
Okay.
that is Kendrick Lamar versus Drake.
I knew you were gonna say.
As somebody who is a longtime Kendrick Lamar fan and a longtime Drake hater, I'm having a great week. I'm having an amazing week.
I'm so happy for you and Kendrick.
Such a sick week. I just love it. Here's the thing. Do you know anything about this situation?
It's really funny you say that because I was just explained everything this afternoon. I haven't listened to the songs yet, but I will when I have the time.
I haven't listened to the Drake ones. I think there's only two. But
No, I'm not listening to Drake. I'm listening to Kendrick.
No. Yes, that is the better option.
That's what my friend was telling me about, like sending me the Kendrick Lamar songs.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I don't even know how to start this. For those who don't know, I don't even know how to start this because there's long history,
Drake and Kendrick hate each other. I don't.
Kind of. But like, well, Kendrick does. Kendrick for sure does. He said in the but basically, Drake and Kendrick Lamar used to be buddies, you know, colleagues, and respecting each other. And then J. Cole he said something like, he said that him and Drake and Kendrick are the big three of rap. And then Kendrick came out with a song called Like That, where he said, Mother F the big three, it's just big me. And by the way, that song's great.
I'll add that to my listening list.
And J. Cole responded with a diss track in early April, and then he said, I bow out. He literally, I'm done.
That's so real.
He literally didn't even have to say anything. He just said, I bow out of the beef, and he apologized to Kendrick, and then people in the rap scene were like, calling J. Cole out on this. And hey, he had the foresight to get out of this while he could. So you know what? Good for him. Good for him for that. But Drake, he did not have the foresight that he didn't look into the future like J. Cole. And he released Push-Ups, where he came for Kendrick Lamar. And then Kendrick basically came out with a 6-minute diss track on April 30th. By the way, it was late. People were like, oh, he's late to responding. But he literally said in the song, he was like, I was late to this because I am taking care of my kids. What about you, Drake?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing I heard. And I was like, damn. Like, jeez.
But that song is so good. And I love that he's just like, yeah, I hate you, Drake. I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate the girls you're with. I hate everything about you. I don't like when you say the N-word. It's just corny.
I heard about that too, yeah.
It's just amazing. And then he says, when with the dust still unsettled, is what this says. He released 616 in LA, which was co-produced by Jack Antonoff. So that's fun for the Swifties up there. But then Drake fired back with a song called Family Matters. Didn't listen to it. Don't care. And then Kendrick came out with another diss track. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So it's already ready. But, 20 minutes.
I know.
After Drake's, called Meet the Grams, where he directly addresses Drake's son, parents, and alleged daughter.
Oh, I heard about that.
Daughter that we did not know that he had. That song is literally, I'm like, Kendrick is in your walls, Drake.
He has an inside source.
Walls. He also, he said he has like a secret 11-year-old daughter, and I'm like, this is too much. This is too much. This is too much, and also amazing. Keep going.
Please keep the feud rolling.
And then Drake denied that he had a secret daughter on Instagram or whatever, and he also denies his surgeries because Kendrick also always is like, he had surgery to have those abs and he takes those Ozempic. And Drake was like, nuh-uh.
No,
I do not. And then Kendrick gave us another one where he doubled down on pedophilia allegations. So that was a thing, and I'm sorry, the song is good. And
what is it called?
It's called Not Like Us.
Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, that was the one. Okay, I added that.
Yeah, and so then Drake I think it was on Twitter, I don't remember, but he came back with the worst. Oh, by the way, I heard the song was bad, but he came out with a song in rebuttal to it, and I heard it was bad. I didn't hear much else about it. But he also, I think it was either on Twitter or on Instagram, where Drake said, I
Hello.
never touched Millie Bobby Brown. And then Kendrick said, who said Millie Bobby Brown? Everybody was like, Kendrick never said that. So you self-reported, sir. What are you talking about? Nobody said that. You said that. No one said that. So that's very funny. But I just like how in the first song, which is Euphoria, Kendrick was literally like, "Hey, don't you don't want to make this more than like a fun little rap thing. So you should watch your step." And then Drake immediately in the next diss track said something about his wife and his kids. And Kendrick was like, "Cool, so I'm about to end your life."
Yeah.
He was like, "Okay, you have an alleged daughter, secret daughter. You don't take care of your own son. You got him around dangerous people. Your house is gonna get raided just like Diddy's did. You take Ozempic." I'm like,
just the list goes on.
And I'm like, this is insane. This is insane. So we'll see how this unfolds. Anyway, let's go to our main topic, which is a look back. It's a pop culture playback. I think we're going to do more of these, but we're basically just going to be picking a year in pop culture, and we're going to be going through the biggest moments, biggest movies, biggest TV, biggest music. We're just going to have fun little conversation about,
Yay.
I guess, today, 2017. So, yay.
Yay. Transported.
Yep. We're now in 2017, so.
Oh, no.
Not a good year of my life.
Same here.
Terrible year of my life. My junior year of high school, do not want to relive it. But for the sake of the podcast, I'll put myself back when I was 17 years old. So I figured that we could talk about first, like, the biggest movies.
Yeah.
2017. I think 2017 was a big year for movies. No,
it was.
I'm just going off of box office hits here, so whatever. But these are just like movies that were basically spectacles for 2017. The number 5 was Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Was that the first reboot, or was that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that one.
I liked that one too. Sadly, I saw that one before the original because I was scared of the original when I was a kid, and I didn't see it until like 3 years later. And let me just say, now I'm a big fan of Jumanji, the original, and that is also why I couldn't watch the second one, because I was like, I can't.
That's my childhood Jumanji is. I loved it when I was little. I used to. That's like me and my dad have certain movies that we will watch together. That's one of them.
Yeah, that's a really good movie. I really dislike my younger self because there's a lot of movies that scared me as a young kid that I have watched recently, and I'm like, this is an amazing film. Why was this young kid?
Were really young parents, and they wanted to go see the movies, so they would just be like, "Sorry, you have to be scared." So like. Narnia, I was scared of Aslan.
That makes a lot of sense.
We went and saw it anyway. So I like Narnia. So hey.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4 was Despicable Me 3. Didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
I love Despicable Me.
Me too.
I didn't see the second one or the third one or the Minions movie. So.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, The Fate of the Furious, which is a Fast and Furious movie, I'm pretty sure.
Is that the one? Was that the final Paul Walker one? This is the first one after he was exited out of the...
Okay, yeah, because I remember being in middle school and all of them
Yeah.
really upset, and I didn't know who it was at the time because I didn't watch the Fast and Furious movie.
I've never seen the Fast. I've only ride the like Universal ride, and that's it.
Yeah, that's my knowledge, and Tokyo Drift I watched. So,
Okay.
number 2 is Beauty and the Beast. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sure. No, I remember seeing that in theaters. I did cry at some point. Hey, I was crying because as you all know, I really love musicals, and I especially love the onstage productions of Disney musicals. And they had a bit of a song from the stage musical Beauty and the Beast, and I started crying, and my friend's mom was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "They're playing home." But other than that,
I saw it in the movie theater too. I remember being like, why did they put that filter on Emma Watson's voice? It was
yeah, there's this really good video. I forget what the complete title of it is, but it's essentially someone talking about what essentially Disney live actions do to the people's voices and why it's such a failure. And it's very interesting because like everything with Emma Watson's voice, it's not her fault. And I'm so sad
no,
that she got so much hate on it.
no, she doesn't sound like a robot. Like I
Yeah, no, I know.
don't like,
She's not a robot.
yeah, she's not a robot, guys.
I recently saw Abigail, and Dan Stevens' name in that movie is Adam, which is the Beast's name. So I said to my friends, if I had a nickel for every time Dan Stevens was in a movie where his name was Adam, I would have 2 nickels. And they're like, well, what's the other one? And I'm like, Beauty and the Beast. And my friends were like, that was him. And I was like, yeah, guys.
My mom's really into him.
Yeah, my mom was too, because was it because of Downton Abbey?
Yes.
Yeah,
I loved it. Downton Abbey.
My parents love Downton Abbey.
Yeah, my mom loves Downton Abbey, but yeah, that was all I heard the entire ride to the movie theater, and I was like, cool. Yeah. And then the number 1 worldwide box office hit was Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So, wow, look at you!
Look at me. I was like, what?
Did you plan that?
Yeah, because I was looking, I was like, what movie came out in 2017 that I have merchandise of?
Hey, and that's what I was also doing. That's like, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, this works.
I didn't have anything else from 2017 that we were going to be talking about. I do, but it's stuff that we're not talking about.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah.
So let's move on to television of 2017. Number 5 is The Handmaid's Tale, which I am a big fan of.
I haven't seen it, but my mom has.
Yeah, my whole family really loves Handmaid's Tale. I have to be in the right mindset, though. I have not watched the latest season because I just felt like I haven't been. It really gets me down.
Yeah, that makes sense for Handmaid's Tale.
Yes, it really depresses me. Even if it like ends on a positive note, I'm still like, this just makes me irrationally like angry and depressed. So
yeah,
I can't. But Handmaid's Tale's great. I recommend it if you have the wherewithal to do it. Number 4 is SWAT. I didn't watch that. I've seen one of those like Chicago Med 911 sort of, which
yeah. I was literally just about to say, I'm sure I've seen commercials like in between with like Survivor, Amazing Race,
I was
or something
say you watch
like
Survivor, so you've probably seen that. Yeah, it's about a SWAT team, so that's great. And then number 3, The Good Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. There's not much more I can say about that.
I'm glad we can just move on from that. No, I appreciate it.
Number 2 is Star Trek Discovery. I didn't watch it, but I think this is the one that Sasha from The Walking Dead stars in.
Yes, I think it is. I remember people getting
when I see actors that are in Walking Dead, I get like super excited whenever they're in other things. So it was a big Walking Dead fan. Honestly, Walking Dead. So, what was this? Maybe season 2017. So season 7 or season 8 of Walking Dead was going on during this time. So I'm sure that they were getting a lot of viewership as well. Walking Dead. Because if I'm remembering correctly, is season 7 is 2017 when Negan shows up in The Walking Dead? Because I should have added that to my cultural moments because it literally ruined my life. I'm not kidding. I was known as like, this is so horrible, but in high school I was known as like the TV and movie girl. Especially after my soccer injury, and that's all I was doing was watching movies and TV. That's why I'm trying to be in the entertainment industry. My injury gave me a new passion, but yeah, I was like known for that. Like I was like the movie and TV girl, and they knew I loved Walking Dead, and I literally the entire day, you would have thought a loved one died. People all day were coming up to me and being like, "Are you okay?" Because my favorite character died. And you know what? They're so true for that because I sobbed as if a loved one died.
No, yeah. My friend is also a huge Walking Dead fan, and when I found out who died, I texted her being like, "Are you okay?"
No, I got that the entire day. You would have thought that somebody dear to me in my real life had passed away. I had teachers asking me if I was okay.
Oh my god, you should have like taken the day off to mourn.
I know that's
a funeral.
My favorite teacher, she was like, I'm actually shocked to see you here today. Yeah. Alrighty. So moving on to number 1, Young Sheldon, which also ends this year. I heard Young Sheldon was good.
No, it's so funny. I've seen a TikTok where someone is talking about how much they hate Big Bang Theory, and then they're like, "Oh, this Young Sheldon show, I'm sure it's like really bad." And then, like, flash forward, someone else is saying, "Oh, I think Young Sheldon's the worst," and then the person goes to like choke.
Actually, that's what I've heard. Young Sheldon's great. I'm like,
yeah, I heard it's good. I mean, then like my parents watch it, but then again, they also were huge fans of Big Bang Theory. So take that with a grain of salt. But I do think
all the time.
What?
Young Sheldon. So I see TikTok stuff about Young Sheldon all the time. So yeah. So that was the number 1 show of 2017 that came out in 2017. So now let's move on to music. So this is albums that came out in 2017. Sam Smith, The Thrill of It All. I don't remember what this album was.
Well, this is the one that they have Too Good at Goodbyes, which I really like that song. I'm trying
to is this the debut?
No, this isn't the debut. I think this is their second.
It's their Okay, number 4 was Rag and Bone Man Human. Number 3 was Pink, Beautiful Trauma. I liked that album. My mom likes Pink, so number 2 was Reputation. I will get into that. So we'll move on. And number 1 is Ed Sheeran, Divide. I love that album.
Is that the one with Thinking of You? No, that's not the song. When your legs don't... Thinking Out Loud. That's the song. Is that... This is what happens when
I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a really, really, really good album. I like most of the songs on that album, so good for Ed. A pretty good year in music, I would say. Now let's move on to our personal, most impactful or favorite moments from 2017. Yeah. Each made lists. We know each other's lists. So
yeah, we're cool.
Yeah. You guys aren't in the club, so
sorry, you don't know.
But okay. So for this first pick, we both picked Get Out. Get Out was, I mean, like, I love horror movies, but like Get Out really like was the first time where I was like, ah, horror is like an art. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was 17, and I already was going to go see it because I was already a fan of Jordan Peele because I'm a big fan of Key and Peele. So I was like, I gotta go see it. Um, and you know what? It's on the wall. So, but yeah, that was great, and it like overperformed like crazy.
Yeah, it was like not really expected to make as much as it did, and it did, and it's well deserved.
Yes, the budget was 4.5 million, and it made 255.4 million.
Dang. And then it he got an Oscar for it, correct? Jordan Peele.
Was it screenplay?
Yeah, I think it was for screenplay.
Oh my gosh, I just love this movie so much.
Yeah, I rewatched it for my black horror class that I took a year ago, and I was like, this movie still holds up.
Oh,
Like,
it's so good.
it's so good.
It's just amazing, and I love. And it also introduced me to my boy Daniel Kaluuya.
Yes, yes, I love him. He's so good. He's so
Him.
good.
All right, so we should move on to our next pop culture, big pop culture moments.
Do you want to go with yours? Because yours had,
First,
yeah, you kind of hinted at it.
first was for me, I had to do Marvel because I have to shoehorn it every single one of these episodes. But it was a good year for the MCU. It was Spider-Man: Homecoming. It was Logan. It was Thor: Ragnarok. It was Guardians of the Galaxy 2. All great,
So good.
excellent movies, and we were also gearing up for Infinity War. So I think the excitement was just like, and at the time I was also gearing up for Black Panther, and I was just so excited because I mean, like, seriously, if I could, like, I don't want to relive 2017, but if I could relive like the feeling of going to go see these movies, oh my gosh, like I would, like, I always talk about how Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther, in Infinity War, and again, just I was on cloud nine. Like,
No, yeah, same
and
here.
Captain America movies, but that's not a universal experience. That's just a me thing. um, but yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Oh my gosh,
So
I'm so excited to see Spider-Man back because Spider-Man was like was one of my very first Marvel loves, and it like really got me into like comic books, and and to see Tom Holland just knock it out of the park, like, seriously. Oh my gosh, he's so good, and like I've seen people not want him as Spider. Like at the time, like when he was announced, people were like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this British kid, this British Billy Elliot. But anyway, yes, he was so good, and he well deserved. Great Spider-Man, and we saw him in Civil War before that, and he did great. So I love Civil War, but
yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for Civil War and Spider-Man being at the end of it, and I was like,
oh my gosh, it was crazy.
it was so crazy. I was like, yes,
Logan, so good,
so good,
emotionally devastating.
so real.
Just the most emotionally devastating movie ever. My mom knows nothing about X-Men and cried to that movie. Like, it's just
Yeah,
so good. It's a good standalone movie, honestly.
it is. It's
If
really
you know nothing
good.
about X-Men, you want a good movie that's like very emotionally impactful, go watch Logan. It's
Go
great.
watch Logan.
Thor Ragnarok. Oh my god. I love Thor Ragnarok so much. And you know what? It just like, and it was the return of Mark Ruffalo. As
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a very long time. And I'm just like, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
And he went all the way.
you.
And he also, at the premiere, I don't know if you know about this, he was doing a live stream. And he didn't know how to turn the Instagram live off. And he put the phone in his pocket. And the first 15 minutes of the movie were on live.
It's
I remember being there. I was there. Where were you when we live streamed the first 15 minutes of the Ragnarok?
That's what you're gonna ask future generations.
Yes. And Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
So good too.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I do too.
I honestly like it better than the first Guardians of the Galaxy. But whatever. But I really loved it. I thought it was very emotionally, I don't know, I think my biggest gripe with the first Guardians of the Galaxy was, I don't feel like it wasn't, I feel like I wasn't connected enough. And then Guardians 2, I was like, I would die for these characters.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just a great year for Marvel. I was going to say the MCU, but Logan's not MCU, but technically it is now. So I don't know.
It's for Marvel. Marvel films.
Great year for Marvel movies. What is your next pick for impactful?
So for everyone who doesn't, so I chose the Babadook being a gay icon. Now I'm going to let you all know why this is kind of on my list, because I just found out of the reason why the Babadook is a gay icon. So for context, the Babadook is a horror film. I don't know what year it came out, but it came out, and then there was jokes of it being a gay icon, but then it became official when Netflix accidentally put the Babadook in the LGBTQ section. So then everyone started calling it a gay icon just because of Netflix. And then I believe the director of it came out and said, "Oh, I'm very thankful for you all to do this." Then they came out for Pride Month with I believe the disc was a rainbow of the Babadook, and all the proceeds went to a Los Angeles LGBTQ plus charity.
And also 2017 is when It came out, and the Babadook and Pennywise are boyfriends.
That's so true. Pennywise, I know you bullied gay little Richie, but you just have internalized homophobia. Get with your boyfriend and everything will be fine.
Yes, I do remember 2017 was the Babadook and Pennywise fanfic peak.
Yeah.
And it was a start as well, and I just love that.
Yeah.
I remember Babadook.
Yeah.
Icon.
It was interesting to learn about it now, because I didn't know it when it happened, but obviously I heard murmurs going on later in my life, and then literally 2 days ago my friend was like, "Do you know about why the Babadook is a gay icon?" And I was like, "No," and then they told me.
But my next big impactful moment of 2017 is YouTube Adpocalypse 2017. Is this the first Adpocalypse?
I don't know what this is, so I can't wait for you to educate me.
Oh yeah, I was so into this situation when it happened. I'm sure you've actually heard of the situation that triggered it, but basically YouTube Adpocalypse was the YouTube community kind of coined it. But it's basically when a mass advertiser boycott and withdrawal happened on YouTube. So advertisers were like, I'm not putting my ads on YouTube if anymore of this is what you guys are allowing on the app and everything. And I'll get to what caused it, but basically this is also why nowadays YouTube has super strict guidelines, is because of the first Adpocalypse. The actual Adpocalypse happened, though, in 2017 when PewDiePie, who was the most subscribed YouTuber at this time, I don't know if he was live streaming or what happened, but he was making super like anti-Semitic and like hate speechy sort of jokes. And they were jokes, but they were just not tasteful and like not good. And he also, this is when YouTube was sort of splitting into like family friendly or red pilled content. It was pretty much one or the other. There was no middle ground. Um, and so all of the like red pill people were just going to PewDiePie, even though he's not anti-Semitic, he was just making terrible, horrible jokes. Um, and so he was making jokes about Hitler. He was making jokes. Yeah, it was like terrible. But then I don't know if it was a live stream. I think it was, because I don't know why he wouldn't cut it out if he didn't. But he then said the N word hard R. I just, you don't remember this?
I remember the anti-Semitic comments, but I did not know about the N-word.
Oh yeah, there was, I mean, people are calling it the bridge, the infamous bridge. He was on a bridge in the game. Somebody did something to him in the game, and as an insult, he said hard R N-word. He did not know if this person was black or not or anything. Still, like, just not.
Still, okay. No matter what.
He's saying the N-word like that. He is a fully white man. He's Swedish. He does not need to be saying this or making anti-Semitic jokes. Just not okay in general. But yes, after that, the UK government, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Johnson & Johnson, and other major brands pulled their advertisements from YouTube. All of them. From YouTube in general. Like not just him. Just, I don't want to be on this platform. Which, good for them, because that was insane. But it was also, I think it was because YouTube was also not doing anything about him. That. They just kind of let it go, and I'm like, it's because he's the most subscribed, and I know that that's why. But it's like, guys, come on. And then there was other extremist content that was popping up that they were just like not doing anything about. So
yeah,
we just sort of, and I'm like, you can't do that, YouTube. So that was the 2017 the first adpocalypse. There are multiple, but then also in 2017, this is when Kendall Jenner did that Pepsi advertisement that was morning movie. Where
yep.
It was the police brutality one.
Yep.
Where she gave the Pepsi to the police officers and it like bonded everybody. Which was weird and like it was just a weird thing.
Whoever pitched that idea I'm hoping they're fired. I hope so.
What is your next pop culture moment?
I will say I did not see this movie when it came out in 2017. However, when I did see it, it changed my life for the best. And that is Lego Batman. Oh, the Lego Batman movie. I apologize. I was a fan of the first Lego movie, like when it came out. I didn't see the second one. Nothing against the second one. But I forget when I first watched the Lego Batman movie. But it instantly became, oh no, you know what it was? I was doing a binge of all the Batman movies because I had recently watched The Batman. And I finally watched that and I was like, yo, this is like genuinely like a fantastic movie.
It's good, but I haven't seen it in a long time, so I can't have comments.
The thing is that sucks is that like the Lego movies that they make genuinely are like so funny, and I don't think a lot of people give them a lot of credit for that kind of like quick comedy. And also the Batman, like the Lego Batman movie is also generally like a well-made like Bruce Wayne story of like him as a character. Like if Robert Pattinson never put on the mask, this would be the greatest Batman movie. And I'm seriously not joking. I literally, it's such a good movie. The voice acting is awesome. The jokes are good. It's such a fun movie. I cry every time I watch it, which I know is embarrassing, but also, hey, I'm cool for crying at Lego Batman. But yeah, love Lego Batman.
Let's move on to
What is
my
yours? Yeah.
next pop culture moment is Taylor Swift Reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, imagine me 17. go back.
Take the
This. Me, 17 years old, not having a good time in my life. But, and I mean, added to it is that I love Taylor Swift, and I have loved Taylor Swift since I was 6 years old. Taylor Swift hasn't been seen in the public in a long time. I'm stressed. I'm upset. Not just because of that, but for many things. But in August, Taylor Swift removes everything from her social media accounts, as well as everything on her official website. We're all like, what's happening? A few days later, she posts a clip of a snake. We're like, huh? And this is referencing, obviously, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, the snake thing, because Kim called her a snake on Twitter. And then everybody was like, she's announcing an album. I'm freaking out. And then Look What You Made Me Do.
Yeah.
Came out on August 25th, 2017. Me in my room on my laptop, literally screaming, crying, throwing up. Like that music video, I'm not kidding, changed me. That music video, I was like, suddenly my year turned fully around when I watched.
I love that for you.
When I watched Look What You Made Me Do. It was her comeback after Taylor Swift's Over Party. Reputation came out on November 10th, and man, what a comeback. I mean, some people hate that album. Some people absolutely love that album. I genuinely love that album. I think, I don't know. I think that like people were like, it was way too different from like what she usually does. And I'm like, I get that. But like also it was her comeback. She couldn't just come back and just be like, here's my silly little pop song. You know, like she couldn't come back with that. There was no way. But that album was basically a Kanye diss track plus a Joe Alwyn love letter. So good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her. I love that album. I went to the Eras tour, and that was one of the highlights of the Eras tour. Was the Reputation era thing. It's just so fun. It's so good. Like it's just fun to just get it all out, because I think a lot of those songs are like, let's just get it all out. But yeah. So that was my number 2. It was a cultural reset. Honestly, I mean, we're still talking about the stuff that happened with that album, like in current like Taylor Swift like lore today. We are currently still talking about the Reputation era. So it was obviously a big reset for music in general. Yeah. Alrighty. So what was yours?
This is my apocalypse. For number 2, I have the Fyre Festival. Now, I don't really remember the Fyre Festival like being there, but the 2 documentaries that came out in the same summer about the Fyre Festival documentaries, I will watch those anytime, any place. My family will be like, didn't you just watch that? And I'm like, yeah. And I'll sometimes start watching one and then I'll finish it and then I'll start the other one. For those who don't know, the Fyre Festival was a failed attempt at Coachella and essentially was like so much money to go to this festival in like the Bahamas
For
And
like internet people, think TanaCon.
yes,
But
yes.
on a bigger scale.
Yeah, like TanaCon per sale, like they thought celebrities was going to be there. They thought music was going to be there. They thought they were going to have fancy tents. They thought all this stuff. And they got there and it was not done at all. It was like also like I don't want to say a lot because I do recommend you watch both of the documentaries. I think the Netflix one is more of like here is what happened and how it went wrong. Hulu was more of a okay, this is what problems are with social media, and also got the guy who did the Fire Festival, and it's really funny how they play his interviews and he lies and then they play a clip after it just to prove that he lied. It's like so interesting. But it was like a whole thing of like just a bunch of rich, privileged people just stuck on this island. But it also sucked for the people that lived there too. They didn't get any money or compensation for it. So yeah, it was just so interesting. There was this picture of a sandwich that just had a single slice of cheese, and this was supposed to be the premium meal and all this stuff. I know. Oh my gosh. It was like there's also in the Hulu documentary, there's a I think she was an influencer, and so, for context, they were supposed to rent out villas on the beach on this island, and only a few people got them. And an influencer being interviewed was like, yeah, so we got a villa. We felt really bad about it. And then the next clip is them partying and dancing and being happy while everyone else is suffering outside and like doing the Hunger Games. So yeah, it's a great it's a thing that I always go back on.
Yeah, because I had never heard of this until Julia taught me a little bit about it in a brief conversation before. So when I saw it on their list, I was like, oh yeah. So we both picked this for our top pop culture moment of 2017, and that is the Oscars mistake. um, for those who do not know, so the Oscars happened, and basically, do we remember who all of the nominees for Best Picture were? I literally only remembered the two that were. These were the only ones at the time, too. So I was like, But anyway, for the 50th anniversary of Bonnie and Clyde, Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty introduced or announced the Best Picture winner. And they were reading it. They were reading it together. They were doing the thing. They got to the envelope, and I literally am vividly remembering this.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
I remembered the confusion on their face. They opened the card, and it's like a pause. It's like they were going smooth, and then it was like, I'm confused. And then he was like, and then I don't know, didn't Warren Beatty
took it. Warren Beatty didn't say it.
I know because they were both like, what is happening?
And then she took it and said La La Land.
Well, no, she took it and she was like, she played it off as like a joke. She was like, oh, you're impossible. Or something.
Yeah. It was something like that.
And then she said confidently, La La Land. Everybody erupted in cheering, except for me at home. Me at home was like, oh. Which I like La La. Spoiler alert, for those who don't know, it was not La La Land. And what sucks is that all of the La La Land people went up on stage.
Yes.
All went up on stage. That sucks.
Sucks.
And then out of all of like, you know, like at the Oscars at the end when it's the Best Picture nom, they all get up there, they're all cheering, and we spend a little bit of time, you know, before the speech comes. And then Who was it?
It was probably the producer of La La
Gordon
Land.
Horowitz. He comes on stage. He's given an envelope, and he goes up to the mic, and everybody's like, "Yeah, speech time." And then he says, "Guys, I'm sorry. There's been a mistake. Moonlight won Best Picture. This is not a joke. Come up here." And then he says, "This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing."
Yeah, because they got they were given Emma Stone's
Yes.
best actress.
Yes, it said Emma Stone, and then it said La La Land beneath it. So I understand. It's not like it was their blunder at all. They were literally given the wrong. And I love it that every single time that the camera flips to the Moonlight people, they are literally like, "What?" Like, they're like shocked, like jaw dropped. Like I'm like, yeah, like but I just remember I felt really bad because Morton Beatty afterwards went on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was like, I was just so confused. Like, why does this say Emma Stone? He was like, I opened the envelope and it said Emma Stone La La Land. Such a long, confused pause. He was like, I wasn't trying to be funny.
No, I think it's really funny if they would have said Emma Stone Best Picture.
Yeah, Emma Stone won Best Picture. She should.
She so should.
She should. But yeah, that's so. Oh man, I mean, like, I remember like sitting in front of the TV with my family and being like, "What?" And
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, yes!"
But yes.
Like, this is insane. Is this ever happened?
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says 2 minutes and 30 seconds passed between the announcement that La La Land won and Horowitz going up and being like, "Sorry, guys, it's Moonlight." Like a range of emotions.
Like, I'll never forget seeing the reactions from the audience members of like.
God. I mean, it was shocking. Oh, so good. I mean, that literally was like. I mean, like the Oscars, like are now like a spectacle. Like I think we all want something big to happen at the Oscars now, and I'm like, I don't even remember if I ever felt like this before the Oscars, but I also don't remember if it was just because I was young and like suddenly something huge happened and I like remembered it. So we're gonna end this episode there. So let us know what your favorite pop culture moment from 2017 was in the comments below. Please let us know because I need to know what everybody I need to know what everybody like thought, like what defined 2017 to them. Yeah, so please let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, totally. And thanks for listening to us ramble this week. Please give us a follow on Zive Media on all social media platforms and give us a follow on our personal social medias as well. And those links will be in the description.
Yep. We'll see y'all next week when we discuss the 2024 Met Gala. Until then, we've been Pop Culture Playback.